Good afternoon. This is John Uvari with the North Carolina SBTDC. Hope everybody is doing well today. If you wouldn't mind, just to make sure that you all can hear me okay, on the toolbar on the right-hand side of your screen, there is a field where you can raise your hand. If you can see that, if you could just raise your hand to let me know that you can hear me okay, that would be appreciated. All right, thank you very much. Glad technology is working for us this afternoon. So again, thanks for joining us. This next 20 minutes, we're going to be talking about the SBTDC's Technology Commercialization Summer Internship Program. So a little bit of general information. As we discussed back in February now, each intern that takes part in this program is going to be working with 2 SBTDC clients. They're going to be working with them concurrently over the course of the summer, or actually simultaneously, I should say. So roughly 2.5 days a week will be devoted to each intern's 2 clients. And throughout the 10-week summer internship program, the intern will be providing you with roughly 200 hours of service. As you can remember from the last session that we did, the program's been running smoothly since 2002 when I started with the SBTDC. And about 100 different interns have run through the program, about 200 different clients. So we like to see that a lot of value has come out of the program, that we've worked out a lot of the kinks that we ran into in the early days. And that's what we're going to be talking about today is how we best see the program running smoothly from both your perspective, the intern's perspective, and of course the SBTDC's. So each student is linked with what we call a mentor, and that's either myself or my 2 colleagues, Mike Carnes or Chris Beal, who most of you have met either one or both of them. The mentor is somebody who's going to be linked with the intern and is going to be communicating with them on a very regular basis. So each of us is going to have roughly 3 interns that we're mentoring throughout the summer. Every Monday or Friday, we're going to have either a webinar, conference call, or in-person meeting with all of our interns. And in those meetings, we're going to be discussing the project work that they're carrying out, primarily focused on challenges that they're facing from a business strategy standpoint, market research standpoint, so that we can maintain a very close relationship with you, the clients, and with the intern over the summer so that we can continue to add value to the process. So we want to make sure that you are comfortable communicating either with myself, best case scenario, myself and the intern's mentor at any time throughout the summer, from right now all the way through the end of the project. So please be comfortable picking up the phone or shooting, both of us an email with anything. It could be a positive or potentially a negative as well. So any kind of challenges that you see coming up, whatever it may be, don't hesitate to communicate with us so that we can be in the middle of things and help to alleviate any issues or concerns. So don't hesitate. So work location. Most of you do have space, whether that be a laboratory or an office space. There aren't too many completely virtual companies that participate in this program. But in terms of office space, if you have office space that you would like to make available to the intern, that is terrific. We find that interns that are able to spend more time than not in your environment during the summer, the better everybody's experience is. If you don't have space or just space is really limited, not a problem. Most interns do work at least a portion of their summer, quote unquote, virtually. So in your first meeting with the intern, that will be one of the key issues to discuss. Will be where, logistically is best for them to do work. Your location, completely virtually, or a mix in between. We ask that in terms of face-to-face communication, we'll discuss that in a little bit. Having weekly meetings is really important at your location. So, very important point here, confidentiality. All of you are clients of the SBTDC at this point. Some relatively newly minted clients. Others of you have been clients for quite some time. At the time that you became a client of the SBTDC, you completed what we call our request for counseling form. And within that request for counseling form, you noted or reviewed our confidentiality agreement that is put in place between the SBTDC and all of the counselors within the SBTDC and your business. And that confidentiality agreement is such that any information that you, the client, share with an SBTDC counselor stays within the SBTDC. Now, that does not mean that that particular counselor that you share information with is required to hold that individually confidential. That information is able to be shared within the SBTDC so that we can maintain a team effort as we work with you. So on that note, students that take part in this summer program are employees of the SBTDC during their summer internship, and with that, they are then held to the confidentiality policies that are noted in our standards of conduct form. They're required to sign that form just as all SBTDC employees are required to sign. So therefore, we expect them to handle your business information in the same professional manner that we would expect of any other SBTDC staff member. So you can be assured that we have our bases covered in terms of ensuring or educating our interns and requiring of them that they sign pertinent documentation suggesting that all information is held confidential. And that's one of the points that the SBTDC holds in very high regard. On that note, some clients in the past have requested that the intern that they're working with sign a non-disclosure agreement. Now, we cannot allow that simply because that non-disclosure agreement would prevent that intern from sharing with and collaborating with others within the SBTDC. And again, going back to what we originally talked about, we want this program to be a very collaborative effort between SBTDC counselors and the interns and obviously you. So there's got to be a collaborative effort, and with that, NDAs are not cannot be filled out by the interns. The project planning. This is a very, very important point that we really hit home with the interns in their orientation session. Now, the first thing that will be done is your initial meeting with the intern, and in the letter that I sent to you last week with the intern's contact information, their resume, etc., I also included in there the date that they will be starting their internship. This year we've got 10 interns in this program. Half of them will be starting on May 11th. The other half will be starting on June 8th. And that's generally we try to start everybody or the majority of people at the beginning or in the May timeframe. However, this year there were some travel commitments that some interns had and some other project work that they had to complete in May. So with that, we've got half and half starting in May and June. So no matter what the start date of your intern, we want to make sure that that first day, the afternoon of, or the next day, you have a meeting scheduled with the intern. So hopefully at this point, you and the intern have been able to make contact and have penciled in a date to have your original meeting, or initial meeting. So in that initial meeting, there hopefully will be a lot of information exchanged, and the big takeaway from that initial meeting is enough information put into the hands of the intern that will enable them to develop a timeline, work plan with deliverables and deadlines associated with each of those milestones. So in this work plan, again, we want all interns to provide this work plan to both you and to the SBTDC, their mentors, at the end of week 1. The intern will certainly be working with you collaboratively throughout the first week on development of this work plan. So between now and the kickoff or your intern start date, we ask that you put some thought into your work plan that you had originally provided to us back a month or two ago, and put that toward a timeline. So we're not asking you to complete the work plan for the intern, but if you could simply think about what are those key deliverables or key milestones, the things that you feel are going to be most valuable to you in terms of deliverables, list each of those out and provide that to the intern so that then they can take that information back and put it into a timeline format. Now, the timeline is certainly going to be something very fluid, perhaps. It could be fluid as a result of things taking a little bit longer or going faster than the intern expected. It could be fluid from the standpoint of your needs perhaps changing a little bit throughout the summer. So on a weekly basis, we ask the intern and you to reflect on that work plan and to consider, are things moving along you expected. Okay, and then if things are not, update that work plan and keep us informed of that. So very important. So here's a sample work plan that we provide to the interns at their orientation. And again, this can certainly change throughout the summer, but it's a really important document from the standpoint of most of these interns have not necessarily kind of engaged in consulting projects in the past to this extent. Certainly they've done a lot of work in their prior careers and certainly within their MBA programs, but this is quite an in-depth consulting arrangement. So we ask them to be as defined as possible as they develop this work plan. So again, we just wanted to make sure that your understanding of our requirements of them in that first week, so that you can have a really good meeting with them that first week. Now, all SBTDC counselors are required to note in detail the work that they carry out on behalf of clients. On a weekly basis, we're going to be asking the interns themselves to complete a detailed log of the work that they have done on your behalf And just as all SBTDC counselors are required to do, we incorporate that information into our client management database. And what that does is it maintains a very detailed log of all of the work that's been done with the client, so that other counselors within the SBTDC that may come into play as the work continues between the SBTDC and your organization into the coming months and years, all of those counselors will be able to gain a clear understanding from those notes about what has the work been done for on your behalf over the years, over time, so that then they can come in from an educated standpoint and assist you. So on a weekly basis, the interns provide us a detailed log of the work they've done, and that is incorporated into our client management system. So communication, again, I don't want to, I can't emphasize this enough, that communication is really the thing that can make or break a great relationship between a client and an intern. Weekly, or at least weekly contact between you and the intern is very important. In person is best, if at all possible. Best thing to do. You know, you all have very busy schedules, so in that first initial meeting that you have with the intern, if you could pencil in, you know, Monday, every Monday over the next 10 weeks at 9 a.m., we're going to sit down with our intern, or every, you know, Wednesday at 2 p.m., whatever works for you. But if you and the intern can agree to a specific day, time, and place that you're going to be meeting, that is the best thing to do. And certainly if you're not available for a period of time, you know, summer's a vacation period, or you've got a conference to go to out of town, be sure that you can link another contact in your business up with the intern. We found that sometimes when clients, you know, things come up and they have to be out of town for a week or two, we don't want that fact to make the entire project kind of go on hiatus. We want things to continue to move forward, and we want somebody to be there at the business during your time where you're going to be away. So really important. So group sessions, the SBTDC organizes 4 team sessions throughout the summer. The first two sessions after our orientation are going to be where all interns come together. They discuss kind of from a 50,000-foot view what their project is, challenges that they're facing, strategy issues that you know, your project is bringing to bear, and all of us as a team can collectively provide input on that. The third group session is one of the most fun, and that offers an opportunity for the interns to present a 60-second elevator pitch on your behalf. So each intern is provided 2 60-second slots, and they have an opportunity to pitch your business to us as the audience, and they are allowed to define who is the audience that they're pitching to. So the SBTDC and the other interns become that audience. The audience sometimes is an investor, angel, VC, it could be a potential customer, etc., and we critique the intern based on that presentation that they give. And it's quite impressive that these interns do a terrific job as they present this information, because for the most part, this is the first elevator pitch that they've ever done. So that group session comes up in early July, and that is something that the intern and you, we would like to have you work on that with the intern. So perhaps you can then use that information that they prepare for their elevator pitch for an elevator pitch that you may want to do sometime in the future. So that comes up in July. And then coming up at the end of the internship, there will be final presentations. You, as the client, are certainly invited to attend this particular client session. Interns were provided about 7 minutes apiece for each of their 2 clients, and they focus on what is the problem, what are the challenging areas that their project faced from a consulting standpoint, how they went about overcoming those challenges, your business challenges, and what were the deliverables that they provided to you over the period of the summer. So we find that this final presentation provides some closure to the program. It's a great opportunity for us to see all the good work that the interns gave. We also ask that the interns give a private final presentation to each of their clients that they'll obviously schedule with you individually. There they will provide you, with a really good overview of what the deliverables are that they came up with over the summer, and there can be some in-depth Q&A between you and the intern. So with that, we will open it up to questions. Given that there are a fair number of individuals on the webinar, we'll leave everybody on mute. We'll ask that you type any questions in that you may have on the toolbar on the right-hand side of your screen. I'll review the questions, I'll read them out loud, and I'll be able to answer them. So take a moment to ask any questions that you have right now. So all of our interns, there are a number of interns that are located here in RTP. There are 1 or 2 that are from out of town, and you're aware of that at this point based on the contact information that you have. So meeting with interns on a one-to-one basis should not be a problem for most that travel. First question. Given the variance in starting dates, will there be varying completion dates? Yes, indeed. For those that are starting on May 11th, their end date will be July 22nd. Those that are starting on June 8th, their final day will be August 17th. So it is 10 weeks plus a day or 2 to account for the holidays that come in, Memorial Day and Independence Day. Next question. Could you send us a copy of the slides? Yes, indeed, I will do that. I also have a recording of this session that I'll be happy to upload and send that to you as well. So with that, I hope that all of your questions have been answered. It's really important that everybody be on the same page. I'm glad that we've had the opportunity to chat here. Any questions that you have between now and the start date, feel free to shoot me an email. We're here to make this thing run as smoothly as possible and ultimately to help get you through the business challenges that you put forth in your project description. So we're really happy to have you on board this summer. Look forward to some great work efforts on part of the interns, and we will be back in touch soon. So with that, we'll sign off and have a great afternoon.